Hey Sally, it's been a while. How have you been?
What do you want now? I mean, who did you get my contact information from? How come you have my number?
I got it from an acquaintance. I told them I need to contact you because I have something important to tell you.
What's the important thing? I don't think I have anything to talk to you about.
You may not have anything to talk to me about, but I have something to tell you.
I don't want to hear your story. I don't care.
Just listen to me. I'm actually ill.
What kind of illness do you have?
I have cancer. So, please, let me see my son.
Huh? You left us 8 years ago. What are you talking about now?
I'm sorry, but you guys are the only family I have. I want to see him one last time.
I don't understand what you mean. Do you know what you've done?
I know. Because of my debt. I caused you a lot of trouble. It was all my fault. I'm sorry.
That's not all. Don't you remember? Sean is now 16. He has grown up a lot since you left.
Right. I haven't seen him in 8 years. I think he may have forgotten me and what I look like. Still, I want to see him. I miss you guys.
You gambled your way into debt. And yet you lied to me all along. You told me your parents are sick, or you took over your brother's debt or something. It was all made-up stories.
That's true. I lied and betrayed you all. That fact doesn't change. But I'm gonna be gone from this world soon. Will you let me see you guys for one last time? Please?
Even after you disappeared, we stayed married for a while, because I felt bad about changing Sean's last name. But I thought it was time since he was going to start high school. 2 years ago, I went through the process of changing his last name. Then I found out that you got married again right after you divorced me. You remarried, didn't you?
Technically, that's not remarriage. I just entered into a marital relationship with someone.
What am I supposed to believe? What is true? I don't know. Anyway, I don't care if you're ill. We are no longer involved.
Please don't say that. You're my family, right?
You're no longer my family. When we were getting divorced, you said he's not your biological son. And you refused to pay child support. Don't you remember?
I'm sorry about all that. But I really didn't have the money to pay you. I was having a hard time paying off my debts. You know what I mean. I didn't really mean it when I said that Sean wasn't my child. You don't believe me?
I don't believe you. I knew you didn't have any money at all. And you were remarried, it seems. Even that was a sham marriage, wasn't it?
What? Stop imagining weird things. Anyways, could you ask Sean?
I guess. He's old enough to figure things out for himself. I'll let him decide for himself.
Please do.
Even a bum like you, to him you're his father after all. The reason for our divorce was because you had to take over someone else's huge debt, so that he would not get a bad impression of you. But the fact is, you're a gambling addict. You're in debt, you're an alcoholic, and you didn't pay the bills. I didn't tell him you were such a scumbag.
Thank you. Thanks to you, I can see my son again. I can't thank you enough. So, when can I meet him?
What hospital are you in?
What?
I'll visit you first. There, I will decide if you deserve to see Sean. I will talk to Sean afterward, and let him decide if he wants to see you.
I'm not in the hospital right now.
Huh? You have cancer, right?
Yes, but I'm not in the hospital yet, for a number of reasons.
You're not just saying that because you don't have any money again, are you? Or do you not have health insurance?
Well, there's a lot going on. Anyways, can we meet outside? At a park or somewhere?
Come to think of it, I haven't told you this in a long time. When we divorced, you said you would not even pay child support. So I figured I didn't have to tell you. Actually, we had about $100,000 in joint savings.
Huh? Is that true?
I didn't split it with you. And that was mostly money I saved. You said you wouldn't pay a dime of child support. So I kept it.
Have you already spent that money?
I haven't used it yet. It's saved for when Sean goes to college.
That's so. Sally, actually, my disease? Money is the cure.
Uh-huh. So,
With all that money you have, I can have the surgery. My life can be saved. That way, as a result, we can live together again, as a family. Don't you want to do that?
nope.
Excuse me? You don't want to save my life? That money was our joint saving in the first place, wasn't it? I should be entitled to half of it. I'll take $50,000.
If you insist on me giving you that money, then can I tell him that you told me when we separated that you would not pay child support because you said the child is not yours?
No, you can't do that. If you tell him that, I have no face to turn to him.
You don't have that in the first place. Well then, that's what I need to say.
Wait a minute. I get it. You don't have to let me see Sean. I'll take that $50,000. I mean, give it to me. It is mine.
I knew it.
Huh?
I knew you would say that. And the reason you wanted to see Sean, because there is some other reason anyway. It was all about the money, wasn't it?
No, it's not. It's normal to want to see your own son one last time, right? Isn't that normal?
Is it really the last? You're not even in the hospital. It has no credibility at all. And you're still dumb as always.
What? What's with that tone of voice?
Did you really think we had $100,000 in savings? How could there be? You had a gambling habit and debts. And Sean was still small and I could only work part-time. How do you think we can save that kind of money under those circumstances? Our lives were on fire. That's so obvious.
Did you screw me over?
Huh? How many times have you lied to us? I also know that you remarried shortly after our divorce. You were having an affair too, weren't you? Be thankful I didn't charge your alimony.
I wasn't having an affair. I mean, I don't remember that long ago.
You're still married to that woman anyway, aren't you? I don't know if you're really ill, but you simply ran out of money. And you just wanted someone to ask someone for money, didn't you?
I'm really sick. Please, help me.
I do not have the financial means to do so. Well, it's better now than when I had a debt-ridden, alcoholic husband, though. There is a future for Sean, too, so I can't be bothered with you.
Please, at least let me see Sean.
I can pretty much guess what you're thinking.
What?
You'd have to convince Sean anyway. You're trying to get him to live with you, aren't you? And you're trying to get child support from me, right?
I don't intend to do that. Sean might want to live with me, right?
Of course not. Even if he said so, I wouldn't allow it. But even if he were to move in with you, I wouldn't pay child support. Considering the amount of child support you haven't been paying, it would be the equivalent of child support until he turns 18.
I didn't mean to. Before I die, I just want to see you guys.
Oh, I see. Well, I don't care. As for me, I think it's long overdue. Your life is over. I am already enjoying my new life. Goodbye forever. Daniel's illness turned out to not be cancer. His disease was curable with treatment, but he didn't have enough money to pay for the treatment, and his condition continued to worsen because he could not stop drinking. His new wife had no interest in his health. She is also in debt because she spends all her time partying. Sally told her son Sean the truth that she had been hiding from him, and if he decided to contact him in any way in the future, she advised him not to get involved with him. Sean said that he had somewhat expected it. He's studying hard to avoid becoming that kind of person.
Hey, Alice! What's wrong with you? Esther, it's been a while. Everything is just fine. Why did you ask that? Why did I ask that? It's because you didn't contact me at all. It's terrible of you to keep such an important thing from me as a secret. I'm sorry, I've just been so busy lately. I heard about that. You guys bought a condo, didn't you? And it's a high rise. That's amazing. My son Hector spent a lot of money on it. Did Hector tell you about that? I was going to contact you when everything gets settled. I've been so busy with the move. I'm sorry I haven't been able to contact you. You should have contacted me, you know. I was surprised to hear about it yesterday. I'm so excited to hear that you're moving to a high-rise in New York City. I'm so happy for you that you were able to marry Hector, Alice. Thanks to Hector that you're now a member of the upper-class society. Well, yes. I had no problem living in the apartment I've been living in before we moved out. But Hector insisted that he wanted to live in a high-rise. A high-rise! He's worked hard for that. He says he's recently been promoted as a department manager. He's indeed a brilliant kid, just like me. There's no way a person in his position would live in such a shabby apartment you were living in. He was right to take the plunge without listening to a poor woman like you. You should be grateful to my son, since he's the one who's providing for you. Oh, gosh. So, I'm thinking of going to see your new home sometime in the near future. When are you available? Tomorrow? What? Tomorrow? Well, sorry, Esther. I don't think tomorrow works. We just moved in, so things aren't organized yet. Besides, I've got a lot of work to do because of the move. So I'd appreciate it if you could reschedule your visit. You said you just moved in. It's been a month, right? No matter how big the condo is, it can be organized in a month. You're not skipping work by saying that you're busy, are you? I'm not slacking off. I'm also working, so I can't spend all my time just for cleaning up. What work? You're a housewife, so cleaning up comes first, right? It's a different case this time. Besides, this month, the kids have school events, so I don't have much time. I've almost finished the living room and our stuff. But Hector hasn't put away his personal belongings. There are still a lot of cardboard boxes inside the room. Why don't you take care of those things right away? What a useless wife. Thanks to Hector that you were able to move into a high rise, and now you're telling me that you can't even clean up for him? You're not doing your job properly as my son's wife. I'm also working, so I'm supposed to take care of myself. I do most of the childcare and house chores. Of course you do those things. Your job doesn't pay much anyway. It's natural for a woman to take care of the house chores. It's also a woman's job to take care of her husband, so stop messing around and get all things done. Jeez. Oh yes, how are my lovely grandchildren? They haven't been visiting me lately, which is kind of boring. They are doing just fine. They're both in upper grades of elementary school now, so they're busy with club activities and playing with their friends. I see. They're very bright, just like me and Hector. They share their genes with their grandmother. You have to let them come visit me regularly. We need to make them understand how blessed they are to have my son as their father and me as their grandmother. Don't you understand that unless I tell you? You really are a very inconsiderate wife. I'm really glad that my grandchildren are different from you. I'm sorry. I'll tell the kids about that later. Oh my God, I guess I gotta go. If tomorrow doesn't work, I'll come visit you this weekend. You better make sure there are some good snacks and tea when I visit you. A good wife takes care of such things. This weekend? I have plans this weekend. Cancel those plans! I just told you that I'll visit you. You said tomorrow doesn't work, so I'm giving you a compromise. I have a meeting at work. You just gave me a short notice, and I can't make it because I have a prior engagement. Reuniting Grandma with the grandkids is the top priority. Hector said that he'd be home this weekend. A good wife should be able to fit her husband's schedule into her own. Why don't you take time off to accommodate your husband's schedule? If you put in work meetings, you wouldn't be able to take care of your husband. You don't know enough about being a good wife. I don't know why you're suddenly telling me this, but... Yes, whatever. I've had enough of your appeal about being an incapable wife. I'll eat dinner and go home, so please take care of me. I'll even check your level of cooking. If you serve me a half-baked dish, I'll give you a private lecture about how to cook properly. See you later. Wait, Esther. You're troubling me. Oh dear. Hey, Alice. A high-rise is awesome, isn't it? It's the perfect place for brilliant people like me, my son, and my grandchildren to live. It feels so good to look down on people from a higher floor. It looks as if those poor people were crawling on the ground. Good evening, Esther. How can I help you? Oh, I'm sorry. I got lost in my own world. You know what? I'm so excited that I'm going to be able to live in that world. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Are you moving to a high-rise too? Yes, that's what I mean. I went to your place the other day and the thought just crossed my mind. I'm the one who deserves to live here. I just knew it. What? Are you telling me that you're moving in with us? I thought you bought a room at the high-rise yourself. Why would I have to buy it myself when I already have one I can live in? It's my son and his wife's house, which means it's also mine. No, you can't have such an important matter decided without me and my husband's permission. I'll have to talk to Hector about it. Oh, you didn't hear from him? My son already agreed to it. What's that? I haven't heard that at all. Living in a high-rise will give me peace of mind in my old age. I've been thinking that it's about time Hector and I move in together. It's a good thing he bought a condo. I'll get my stuff there tomorrow, so please clean up the mess. Are you kidding me? Wait a minute. That's too selfish. You can't move into the house since we don't have enough room. Each of the four of us has our own room. The only space available is the living room. You don't need a room of your own, Alice. When I saw it the other day, I liked the view from your room the best. Starting tomorrow, that will be my room. I won't hear any objections. You should sleep in the living room. That's good enough for you. You should be thankful that you live in a high rise. I can't do that. I take my work home with me. Besides, I also do remote work some days in the week. I need a room where I can work in peace. Besides, it's such a short notice. I'll be at work tomorrow, so I won't be able to pick up the packages. Alice, you know what? You're not doing much work anyway, so why don't you just take a day off? Your mother-in-law just told you that she's moving out. It's your duty as my son's wife to take a day off from your work and greet her politely. You must be really incompetent if you don't understand that. I really feel sorry for Hector, who married a terrible person like you. Huh? I told you that I can't do that, so please understand, Esther. Hector knows that you are moving in, right? Then he's the one who should take a day off to help you. I didn't know about the move until some minutes ago, so I can't take a day off if you suddenly ask me to. You really are an idiot. My son has an important job to support his family. He can't just suddenly take a day off. You seem to have a strange pride in your work. You earn less than Hector, you have no responsibility, and your job is worthless, right? It's natural for a woman to be a housewife and take care of the family, but you're just too proud to do so. But to make my son, the breadwinner of the family, take a day off because of your petty pride is beyond insane. You are such a useless wife that you can't even understand such a thing. When I move there, you'll have to educate your children well. They shouldn't grow up to be a person like you. Anyway, tomorrow, when you get my stuff, take everything out of the cardboard boxes and organize them. Since you seem to have a lot of good furnitures, you can keep those in your room. I'll use it. I'll be there tomorrow for dinner. If it's not done when I get there, I won't forgive you. That's absurd. You really are troubling me. I won't give up my room or my furniture. If you love Hector so much, then you should use his room. You should take care of the moving by yourself since I won't be able to help you. I've already reserved a moving company. Also, I signed a contract to sell the house I've been living in. I can't change the date. Besides, Hector needs his private time too. It's true that me and my son get along well together, but I don't like the idea of us sharing the same bedroom. So I can't take your suggestion. As a wife, you should live your life with us as a family. I'm taking care of a useless wife like you without abandoning you. You should be grateful for that. Why are you being so rebellious? Taking care of me? Hector doesn't take care of the house chores and looks after the kids at all. I'm the one doing all of them. And on top of that, you insist to move in with us? It's beyond unreasonable. You just can't do it because you're a bad wife. You're not even aware that it's normal for mother-in-law to move in with her son and his family. I'm going to give you a good lesson. You should be grateful to me for teaching you the common sense of this world. Even though you're an insane, useless wife, you're able to live in a high-rise, thanks to me and my son. See you tomorrow. Wait, Esther, I can't believe it. Hey, Alice, what are you doing? You don't have to come home again. What are you talking about all of a sudden? What's wrong with you? Don't you dare to talk to me like that. Hector told me about you. I heard you're having an affair while he's supporting you. You ungrateful bastard. You're not only useless, but you're also betraying your husband. What a despicable wife! What? Another mysterious accusation? I never committed an adultery. Did Hector really say that? My sweet son was crying and asking me for advice. He said he's thinking of divorcing you because you're having an affair. He doesn't even want to see you anymore. He let a useless wife like you to live in a high-rise, but you betrayed him. No wonder he's in shock. That's why I won't let you enter the house when you get back. Oh, well, that's fine. I'm not going back there. You're such a good girl. Are you going to elope with your boyfriend? What an irresponsible mother. Well, that's convenient for us, so you can do what you want. We'll get full custody of the kids, of course. You'll never see your beautiful children again. I'll educate them in the ways of the upper class and raise them to be respectable children. Esther, you always have such interesting things to say. You've got it all wrong and you're so proud of yourself. Unfortunately, the children will never go back to that house again. The only ones who will remain there are you and Hector. Huh? What on earth are you talking about? I'm in the process of cleaning up the new house where me and my children will live. I've told the kids where this house is. I guess it's about time they come home. We will start a new life here, so you and Hector can live in harmony without me and the kids. I know you're going to have a lot of trouble in the future, but good luck anyway. I don't get it. What do you mean that you've got yourself a new house? You are being deceived by your dearly beloved son, you know that? Hector is the one who was actually having an affair. Seriously? A kind and serious boy like Hector having an affair? He would never do such a thing. You're just trying to put the blame on my son, aren't you? Wow, I'm speechless. You love your son very much. You may find this hard to believe. I have the proof with me, so you can't get away with it. If you have the proof, show me then. It's a lie you made up anyway, isn't it? I'll show it to you if you want to see it. This is the proof that your son is having an affair. Before we moved into the high-rise, I knew something was wrong. I noticed that he often went out alone on his days off. He usually doesn't work overtime, since his workload isn't that much. But then, he told me that he wants to move to a high-rise for the future. I thought he was spending his time outside to do some research for the property. But I was wrong. I was cleaning Hector's room shortly after we moved in. I found a woman's jewelry that wasn't mine under my bed. So I took a sneak peek at Hector's cell phone and was convinced that he was having an affair. Hector brought his lover into the apartment we just moved into. Really? Even if that's true, what drove my son to the point of considering divorce is your fault because you are such a useless wife. That's why he decided to have an affair. You're getting carried away by saying you have the proof. You are the main cause Hector wants a divorce. A useless wife like you are not supposed to talk so proud like that. How dare you say that I'm useless? Since this is the last time I'm going to say what I want to say to you. I paid for that high-rise with all my money. Hector doesn't pay at all. Therefore, the ownership of the room is mine. Huh? Stop talking nonsense. Do you think you can afford that when you don't even have a proper job? You should think more carefully before you lie. You're getting carried away by saying you've moved, but perhaps you still miss the high-rise, don't you? You're just trying to steal it away from us by telling some random lies. I won't be fooled by that. On the contrary, do you think someone who gets paid with a modest amount of salary can afford to pay for a high-rise? What are you talking about? Hector is only 40 years old and he's been promoted to be the department manager. He's not just an ordinary office worker. He's an upper-class, super elite office worker. Hector hasn't been promoted. Not only is he still a section chief, but I heard that he's in danger of being demoted. What? That can't be true. I started my own company when my children enrolled at elementary school. After my company got off the ground, Hector gradually changed. At work, he seems to be handing over his work to his colleagues and doing nothing these days. Even when he was in danger of being demoted, he continued to slack off and had no sense of crisis at all. I guess he thinks that if he gets fired, he'll be fine because I'm there to support him. Although he is no longer doing housework, childcare, or even working, he is still a father. I was holding out the divorce for the sake of the children. What? Are you saying that my son is lying to me? That's right. Because you always say that you love your son so much. Hector just wants to look good in front of other people. So he said that he bought the high-rise with his own money anyway. Am I right? Yes. Hector said that he got promoted to be the department manager and that his salary will go up. Both you and your son really disgust me. Hector bought a high-rise with my money without paying a penny himself. He made up a story about my infidelity to kick me out, so that he can get alimony from me and ownership of the high-rise. The fact that you offered to live together with us was a good chance for Hector, because he can get rid of me without getting his own hands dirty. Truly, you and your son are foolish. But it's too late. I already hired a lawyer and I'm preparing for a trial. A trial? Yes, before Hector puts his plan into action. I'm glad that I caught the proof that he's having an affair. Since we already have all the evidence, Hector's plan is no longer possible to be done. Therefore, if you want to continue to live in that room, please discuss that with your son and buy it from me. I will sell it to you with the market price. I won't raise the price, but I won't give you any discount either. By the way, Hector seems to be paying a lot of money to his lover. I doubt he has much money saved up. He seems to have spent it all in anticipation of getting a lot of alimony from me. So instead of buying a high-rise, I doubt he can even afford to pay for a living next month. He seems to be contributing more than his own salary by using credit card. Wait a minute! I don't get it at all. So you're saying that I can't live in this high-rise anymore? After all the trouble I went through to get rid of you? If you can't buy it at the market price, I'll have to ask you to leave. I will sell it to someone who is worthy of living there, not someone who can't even pay the rent. Oh yeah, and I won't let you see your grandchildren at all from now on. What? Stop joking! The children will be sad if they don't see their grandmother. You can have a divorce, but it's irresponsible of you as a parent to make the children sad. They don't seem to miss you at all. Whenever they visited you, they said that you were speaking ill about me endlessly. You yelled at the store clerks whenever you went out with them. They have come to the point where they don't want to visit their grandmother anymore. Living with you for the past months has been very stressful for the kids. They were overjoyed when I told them that we were going to live in a different house. Oh no! But you'll let them see my son, right? He's their father. No, I won't let them see Hector either. It seems that the children were aware of his infidelity. They said they heard a stranger's voice coming from their father's room on the day they came home early from morning classes. When I told them about the separation, they told me that their father asked them to keep that as a secret. What kind of father would allow his children to have such a nasty secret? I can't believe he would bring an adulterer into the house where his children live. They are just kids. They'll forget all of that soon. It's just one time. How can they hate their own father just because of that? For kids, family troubles will stay in their minds. Even if it was just once, it's enough to make them not trust their father. I have a responsibility to protect my kids from people who can't even understand such things. I will not let you and your son have anything to do with my kids from now on. Oh, thank goodness that I didn't get lost. Well then, you'll be hearing from my lawyer for more details. Until then, enjoy your life in the high-rise for the time being. Goodbye. Wait a minute! Alice! Hey, let's talk about it. I have nowhere to live if this house is gone. Oh, please come back. I'll apologize. I beg you. Please, Alice! And so the divorce was finalized. Of course, Hector didn't have enough money to pay for the rent at the high-rise. Both he and his mother were evicted from there. In addition, he had to pay alimony and child support to me. His already small income became even smaller, and his life became a living brick. My ex-husband, who despised his own family and contributed all of his income to the affair, begged to be allowed to live in his lover's house, but he was rejected without a second thought. Now they live in a small room in a very cheap, old, broken-down apartment with no bathroom and a shared toilet. Later, a plan to build a large commercial facility near the tower block was proposed, and the land's prices rose. I was relieved to be able to sell off the high-rise with just a little loss. I'm now living peacefully with my children in my new house.